We're rolling, rolling, rolling.
The music puns continue.
Right?
It wasn't me.
Are you sure?
No.
Okay.
Close any window I don't need to close. All right. To those who are here at the beginning, welcome to Geeky Bugbear's first official D&D 5e stream. It's home of Annihilation. The Annihilation game.
We're all gonna die, man.
At some point, yes.
Death is inevitable.
Ray, do we? I forgot to ask. Do we have a bot set up or anything that would like throw out the command to see the possible bit purchase?
There you go.
He's got
You're
it.
the man. All right. So if you want to change the game in any way, you can check this out.
Sorry about that.
Uh-oh.
Oh no.
We had our bebop for there.
And take two.
That was a troll's toy that he turned on.
That's all right. It's good to start with a bang.
You want me?
Well, thank you for hosting, Ray.
I did that. He wasn't actually. He was on auto host for somebody else, so I hosted him to Geeky Bugbear.
Yes, thank you. For some reason, the auto host doesn't get kicked off sometimes. Because you're high up on the list, so it should have kicked them off.
Okay. All right. So, as we all know, starting point is in Baldur's Gate on the Sword Coast. For the most part, for the past several days, talks on the streets and taverns have been all about the so-called death curse, wasting disease, afflicting everyone who has ever been raised from the dead. Also seems hindering certain life restoring magics. Victims grow thinner and weaker each day, slowly but steadily sliding towards death that they want. They finally succumb. They can't be raised, and neither can anyone else, regardless of whether they've received that miracle. And temples and scholars of divine magic are at a loss to explain a curse that has affected the entire region and possibly our world. You have all been summoned or invited to the home of Sylvain at some point, a retired adventurer and merchant. You were each approached as you came into town, or if you messenger brought you a missive telling of your son. Here, who Sindra is, if you're not, practically has to come to the house in Baldur's Gate that is burning purple smoke from the chimney stacks. Gives you this where you were to.
Nice.
Okay.
The five of you meet at the entrance to this particular mansion, and the same servant, relatively mundane servant, he's in like gray and white robe. Male age. He doesn't seem to speak much, but he seems to be hospitable. Ushers you for your wait for some.
Okay.
And as you get there, he says, "Please take a seat. Get to know one another. Miss Sindra will be."
What does the foyer of this place look like? Like, what is it big open air? Is it furnished? Tapestries? Anything?
There's a few tapestries hanging from the walls. There's definitely grand rugs, really nice furnishings thrown about through this particular area. He seems to live pretty lavishly, and from your brief experience with it previously, You know that she's a merchant. Well reputed.
Okay.
As the five of you walk in and you see all these, you see the uniformed attendant heads up this really big grand staircase. The other floor, so leaves you to. You would like to introduce yourselves, well, or at least describe yourselves to one. We'll start with Ring first. Winrin, Revink, made by Ring.
Okay. I'm playing Winter and Berrypink, and I'm a forest gnome. And
Yeah. So she's going to talk really fast because, the gnomish thing. She is about 3 foot tall, 40 pounds. While she's slight of build, she also seems kind of solid. She spends a lot of times in the outdoors and around, almost like, that kid that plays outside nonstop, how it's like they've got muscular, but they're not bulk. She always seems to have kind of like a pep in her step wherever she's going, whatever she's doing. So she pretty much at this time would kind of look around at everybody and then be just taking in all of this environment. It's nothing new to her. You can tell that she's comfortable where she is, but she also looks like she'd be just as happy climbing up a tree.
Okay, very well. Let's move on to Trey Marmorn.
Marmor. He is a wood elf. He's like green, the wood elf, green with yellow hair. He's 5'5", I think I put on the character sheet. I can't remember. But anyway, so he is very. He's coming into this place very uncomfortable. He doesn't like being in cities. He doesn't understand why he had to come to the city to answer this call. He was, but he knows that this is part of his, destiny. So he's here with a purpose, but also he doesn't like being in the city. So that's pretty much, he's looking around kind of like, not liking any of this basically. But that's pretty much that's Marmor. He's very sure of his destiny, and he's ready to go and out and fight and defend and try to solve the problems.
Marmor.
I haven't decided on an accent for him yet, so I might. It'll be in the moment, so we'll see.
Yeah, do what feels right.
All right, well, let's move on to Adam playing Coleman.
Coleman is of average height. He's got shorter, dark hair that's pretty well kept. It's very neat and clean. He looks to be pretty clean in general, and kind of fashionably dressed. He's got some darker blue and black robes that seem to be thin and form-fitting. There's a little bit of silver that runs along the trim, though if you were to look close enough, you would notice a distinctive fraying along the edges, almost as if he's putting on airs that he might not actually be as wealthy or well-to-do as he appears. His eyes are pretty yellow, very vibrant yellow color with flecks of green inside of them. And he has gloves that cover his hands. They seem to be made of a nice supple leather. And he adamantly avoids getting any close to any of you, as if he perhaps does not like. However, he is right now enamored with the trappings of.
Okay, all right, let's move on to Curtis playing Heskin.
All right. So Heskin is Dragonborn. He's 6'8", 230 pounds. So he's kind of slim, but he's still very well muscled. He's got like a leathery copper skin, like the highlights on his greenish, like copper oxidizes kind of. He wears like simple clothes. Sorry, reading what I wrote down. He's got short gray trousers, like just below the knee. He's got pale brown tunic, and a fur half cloak, kind of like coming over the front and back, just like the upper torso. He's got like feet wrapped in cloth, blah blah. The most notable feature is his tattoos and piercings. On the right side of his face, just along his jaw, just with simple shapes, it's just like almost like a beast jawbone with teeth. Over his eye, there's a wing that just comes off the corner. Where's the other ones? On the back of each hand is like a beast spiral, and then claws coming up over each. And then he has another tattoo, which he doesn't really show a lot because he has a leather sleeve over his right arm. And then he just has some simple piercings, like a septum ring, like a nose ring, and then 2 brass rings through the top of his left ear.
Hmm.
And he's
Right.
just enamored by this place. So fancy.
All right. So Ray playing Banu.
Yes. Real quick, if you're running a bunch of shit in the background, close it. Just like anything you're closing that's an extra, get rid of it, and that ought to fix the problem too. All right. I am playing Banu al-Hashim. He is. How tall exactly is he? He is 4'1" and 38 pounds of pure muscle, and by that I mean pure little goblin muscle. Although it's kind of hard to tell that underneath his very fine Arabian night-style noble clothes. He has the little turban on with his ears just poking out underneath. He's got a silk cape on. He's very clearly a nobleman. His clothes are all like fine silk. Well, it's not really appropriate for just wandering around in the desert. So I mean, he's clearly not just out and about. He has no shoes on. He just walks around in his little 3-toed feet. He's green with solid red eyes, but he's got a friendly face. You look at him, he's like, that's a goblin I'd have a beer with.
As friendly as a goblin can look.
Oh, goblins can look so friendly. You have no idea. And as he's walking in this story, he's distinctly unimpressed. He's just, I've seen better.
Oh yeah, Heskin's raising an eyebrow at the goblin, just confused.
He raises an eyebrow back.
All right. So y'all are still sitting in this foyer. You can hear the fires. It's a pretty large. It's nothing. Right now, we just have to us.
So, why are you guys here?
Me? Us? Everyone?
Yes.
Oh. Well, I received a message to come here. So I came here. That's
Well, that's
pretty
quite
much it.
curious. Do you just come anytime somebody calls you? I mean, that's kind of, unusual, but you think, I would think that you would know them if you were going to come to them.
I'm new to
you
the
are like
area,
gold.
so if somebody knows me enough to send me a message, they must know something. Maybe my family name.
Family name? Are you famous?
I'm not famous, and my family is the Hashim family.
Hashim. No, I don't know him.
Never heard of them.
Yep, never heard.
Oh, they're quite famous, I assure you.
See, he knows.
Heskin's kind of looking at everything on like the end tables and just kind of fiddling with stuff. Not really paying attention to anybody else.
Winterin looks over at Marma and she's like, see, I told you there's all kinds of interesting things in the city. There's no need to be worried about it. It's really neat things to see.
I don't understand why anyone would want to live here. This is just terrible, terrible.
but look, and she points over. I'm presuming that there's maybe like a vase of flowers or something like that. And she's like, see, there's still plants. You can still, if you start getting, a little bit nervous or something, you could go over to them and you could just go, boop. And I touch it and cast Druidcraft, and the blooms just kind of blossom and grow, and the little leaves all tucker out, even though there's no soil that it's in.
Marmor walks over to it, starts looking at it, it's his he's really
Your
into it.
safety
Like,
touchstone.
yeah, my safety. Yeah,
It's your anti-anxiety flower.
yeah.
I imagine Banu's like sitting behind a table right now with just that amount of his face popped up out from behind it, just staring at people.
Yep, he's just sitting there. He's looking around.
I just noticed his camera. He's he's in character.
I love it.
Chair acting game is strong. Okay,
That's very impressive what you did with the flowers.
Oh, I'm glad that you approve. It's always nice to have nature in, with all of these hard walls and things like that. So, why do you think that we're here? I was just told to come. Were you told the reason why we're here?
There is work to be had far away, I think.
Well, I came far away to get here.
Then you won't mind traveling farther.
All right, let's play a game. Who travel farthest? I come from Luskin.
Does getting
who can
pulled
be?
here against your will count?
Maybe.
I come from Zakarum.
I never heard of you. Beat me.
If you go to the east and you keep going east, and then you go east some more, you'll be there.
That is far.
Really
So
far.
very, very far.
Probably
Well, we're
way
not
better
that
there.
far.
so as y'all are talking, you hear a little bit of clattering, and one of the doors opens up the side of this grand staircase. It creaks open, and all of a sudden you see like 4 or 5 attendants. They have a low-lying table, and they bring all kinds of herbs, such, and begin to kind of out all lavishly. And they said the one female that's standing there, she looks maybe in her 20s, bob cut, brown hair. She doesn't look dressed like extra. The lady asked that we brought you something to eat. Important. So please, feel free, take whatever you like. Just don't mess.
What about the plants?
My friend's a little nervous. Could we take that flower plant, and when we go to the meeting, and he could just carry the pot with him? It seems to keep him calm and comfortable. Is that cheese?
That is cheese, and you're a very spirited little thing, but I have many more duties to attend. I'm going to get out of here, y'all. Enjoy yourselves. Scoots off to the back.
Thank you.
Winterin does not hesitate. She picks up the pot and passes it to Marmon and goes, "They have cheese, come on." And she goes over and immediately is just like looking at everything and getting like cheese and fruit and like filling a glass with a drink. Does anybody else want something?
Banu hops down. I would like something.
Marmor
I kind of plop a plate over to him. Help yourself.
Marmor's like whispering to the plant, "I will get you out of here. I will save you."
Banu flares his cape behind him as he sits down and very properly tries to eat. Do they have silverware there? Is it just like a snack plate?
I mean, there's some little silverware and pieces. Little cutlass. Looks like toothpicks of some sort where you can kind of pick hors d'oeuvres and such. I mean, there's shrimp, there's fish, there's all kinds of, like, about any kind of food you could really imagine. They came out and really just offered you.
Shrimp. How far away is the nearest ocean?
Baldur's Gate is a port city.
Oh, okay.
20
It's
feet.
fresh then. I'm not from around here.
Are the shrimp local?
As the lady's walking out, she's like, "Why, yes, they were caught just the other day, like 2 days ago." Continues on out the room. She looks kind of taken aback that there's a goblin, and Dragonborn, which really kind of creeps her out. Apparently, she's not.
Heskin's just smiling and waving, like, "Thank you, nice lady. Thank you for the food."
Life
The
takes
name's-
all kinds.
The name's Leliana.
I won't remember.
Harsh but true.
Oh,
Winterin pauses in between like
Honesty.
cheese bites.
Because, if this is a port city, then why did they serve us shrimp from like 2 days ago? Is there a problem with it? Why would you not have fresh shrimp? I mean, I would think in a place like this, you would have fresh shrimp just caught. Jeez.
Heskin sits by the table, but like on the other side from Winterin.
Most magics are not used to take shrimp from the ocean and put them in front of you.
So, I imagine y'all are just kind of sitting around.
Jabbering, not trying to find out everybody's names.
Cole
trying
puts
to
food
use
on
the
it.
toothpicks.
Cole puts food on his plate but never eats it.
are you going to eat that?
Oh, feel free.
It looks really tasty.
Nom, nom, nom.
All right, so after about 30 or 40 minutes, if y'all don't have any particularly you want to explore, the same uniformed attendant that had come down previously, he comes back down the grand stair. And he says, please, right this way. And he gives balls for. You have eaten, please.
Oh, I was planning on it. Yes. I just take one of the jugs of. Was there like jugs of drink?
Yeah, there was
What
like
was it?
pictures of stuff.
Yeah, so I grab one of those and just one of the plates, and then I stand up and follow.
Everybody else following suit, or
Oh, yeah.
Winterin,
Yes.
Winterin puts like some cheeses and a bread in a little napkin and folds it up and puts it in her pocket, and then gets a jug and comes to just like, let's go.
pocket shrimp.
I imagine Haskin is just not caring too much, and like some of the food's falling off the plate as he's walking, and he doesn't notice.
You are dropping food.
Oh.
Marmon takes a little bit too, like extra, puts it in like a little napkin and wraps it up and put it in his pack.
Okay.
Hey, friend, why are you carrying that plant around?
I will save this plant. I will save it. It does not need to be in the city. This is not its home. It needs to be out of here.
But
The
the
servant-
plant
the-
likes being here.
Kind of likes like it's home. I mean, it's in a pot and everything.
It was dying before she touched it. I'm taking it with me. And you cannot tell me no.
That's
The
that's a
servant
fair point.
kind of
It
like
was dying.
pauses in the middle of y'all, like excuse me, would you kindly put the plant
We're
back?
walking. We're talking and walking.
We're
Just leave
following
it
Aaron
on.
Sorkin's protocol. We're talking and walking. Don't worry.
Just leave it on the staircase. I will have a servant come back and grab it later.
How much do you want for the plant? I'll take it. I need to get it out of here.
If you want to purchase the leave it here and you can speak to Lady Silver.
Kind of like begrudgingly puts it down. Ugh. Need to save this plant.
We will save the plant.
Alright, so
We will
this
probably not save the plant.
so the servant
Trying
he
to make him feel better.
I don't like him.
the servant ushers the five of you up the grand staircase and makes way all the way to the third floor, then bringing you into this really nice room. It's wood paneled. It seems to have a fireplace, a bunch of comfortable chairs, a heavy table, goblets and bottles of wine, which is previously there was no alcohol, so you can actually smell the tank a bit. The darkly paneled walls are hung with maps and all sorts of sea charts. Racks and shelves and cabinets hold hundreds more rolled up maps and charts. A person seated in an overstuffed chair near the fire. Can't really discern a gender, but because only the person's head emerges from under really heavy blanket draped over the chair, and an embroidered hood and silver mask conceal the wearer's face. Even the person's dry, raspy voice provides no clue as she calls out, "Help yourselves to the wine and seat yourselves free. I hope I can call you that."
It depends on if whatever is affecting you is not catchable.
Heskin holds the pitcher forward. You sound thirsty. You would like a drink?
I'm sure you've heard of the death curse upon the street. Are you summoned? Friendly.
Ah,
Oh, so no drink. Okay.
Oh,
Marmorn is like looking at I guess her with like amazement, like trying to figure out what's wrong, trying to maybe figure out, just looking very closely and intently at her.
Well, you can't get a real good look at her. Like I said, the main thing that you see right now is just a hood. She's got like a blanket over her head with a hood over that, and then like a silver mask, like over her face, completely concealed. So there's nothing that you can really discern just from maybe from the position. You can tell that she's a little bit in pain. Where did your
I don't know. It just did stupid stuff.
Yay, she's back.
I don't know what happened.
Like the popped off. Okay, so she's offering you a place to sit. She's giving you the one little hint. The death curse struck me. You've heard. I don't know how much longer I'll last. Clerics here have no help to offer. They're stymied. It happens. And as she mentions the word cleric, you see like a door open back of this room, and this really strange figure that never seen before. You may have heard of it. I'll let you give like a nature check if you want to identify. But this creature that comes walking out is this kind of tall but hunched figure. Can't really tell if it's a female or a male. One side of their face is like really scarred up, and you notice that it has kind of a reptilian look to them. Not quite like the Dragonborn. Looks more like a turtle sort. Just walking bipedally to the room. Toting on its back, their back, is a shield of some sort on top of this large turtle shell, and hanging from their side is like this really nice, finely made silvery mace. They seem to be not pained, but they walk with kind of like a kind of stumbling gait, almost like injury previously. And it's kind of regal, but the side of the face that's all scarred up, like the one eye is like white dip. Got the beak on their face and all.
Hello there.
I've never seen anything like you before.
you can't just say that to people.
Just a second.
Like, I'm not used to being here. You know that. I like sit back in the chair.
I apologize. This man speaks to plants. Apparently, they are very blunt.
Clearly a simpleton. It's fine.
Gives
Well,
like
that's
a
simple.
gives like a snarled look over.
And this
So this discourse, is it like contagious?
no, not as far as I've seen. No one in my land gave it from person to person, but nobody knows who it affects or why.
See, that is unusual. Usually in nature, there's a balance and there's a reason and a why, but if nobody's been able to find it, maybe we could find it when we find the ladies of the Golden Hills. I bet they would know how to do it. They would know how to fix it. They were great healers.
Unless this isn't divine.
Well, they're not really divine. Well, I mean, I guess they are. They're sort of. So I guess we're gonna have to figure it out. I've always liked a good puzzle. Do y'all like good puzzles? Because this sounds like this will be a puzzle.
I like games.
Well, I guess you could pretend it was a game, and the prize would be keeping her alive.
I
It's a
really
pretty
like
good prize.
coin.
Money's good.
Money's always good.
I will let you
Except for when
puzzle.
it's not.
I will let you puzzle. I will fight.
And save plants.
Try to save plants.
I'm going back to that plant now.
I just leave the room.
That'd be great. Roll a stealth to go get the plant back. Yeah.
Marmon dies on a stealth adventure.
To save a plant.
Yeah. Plant 1, Marmon 0.
Was it a ficus?
It was actually a mimic plant. Dun, dun, dun.
Oh no!
Oh god.
You still looking for the gate?
Yeah, it's not popping up. Proper
Did you-
filters.
Yeah, it's in filters. It's an audio gate in the filter setting. Yeah, you should delete the filter. And then that ought to fix it. And then just I don't know, talk for a little bit, and I'll turn the thing on. Listen.
Is deleted. Hopefully it sounds better.
Does that sound any better? Testing,
Test, test,
testing.
test, test. It's me that needs to be tested, mate. Test, 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 test.
Well,
Testing.
not your filter, but it does.
There's now static coming from your microphone.
It's not his. It's Reen's.
Is it Reen? Reen, say
Yep.
something.
Reen, say something.
Because I just turned his mic down and the static was still coming through.
Testy, testy, testy.
Say something now, Nick. All right.
That's
Testing,
better.
testing, testing, testing.
It's
Chicken,
Nick on
chicken.
stream. Nick's.
Okay.
Good night.
Good night.
In a moment, though, y'all. We'll figure this out before we continue.
Good night. Oh, hug the shark. Okay. Good night, shark.
Let me try one.
Do you
more
have the
thing.
right? Do you have the right microphone selected in OBS? Like you're not using the built-in mic on the webcam or something, because it would sound a lot worse.
Does it sound better now?
Let's find out.
Does it sound better? Because I can't sing and this is embarrassing.
There's still static.
What the fuck?
Is it like atrocious, or shall we
If,
move
if
on?
you mute Discord, Trey, and oh, he's got Discord muted. He's listening in.
Does it sound better to Trey?
The static went away right there for me.
Chicken, chicken, womp, womp.
Nick, say something else.
Can you hear me? Does it sound like crap? Am I still staticky?
Okay,
I
yeah.
think
the
it
static
sounds
went away.
better now.
Yeah.
Is he using the mic on his headset? Is that what it is?
Yes.
Yeah, it's. You know,
Okay. Okay.
It's
Very weird.
Just make sure that connection's all the way in on your computer, and you should be fine. Connection from your headset to your computer.
Yeah.
I tell him that he just shorts out everything in electronic because he does. He like kills watches. His phone batteries drain crazy. He's just a
Oh, you
very
have that
magnetic
too?
personality. Yeah,
That happens to me all the time too.
that's
Like, things
actually a
just don't want to
thing.
work.
It's weird because
Yeah, it's like-
everybody to me sounds like, let's see, like I get a crackle every time somebody talks.
See,
That's
and they're
weird.
clear to me.
Yeah, you're crackling like
Weird.
crazy, Reen.
Am I crackling to
It
y'all?
sounds a lot better now on the stream. Sounds like 10 times better.
Okay. Shall we move on? Please, some more.
I'm still hearing popping every time someone talks on stream.
That's weird.
What the hell?
Because anytime you can hear popping, Nick, everyone on stream can hear popping because we hear what you hear.
That could possibly be Discord or
You want
the.
me to try changing the setting for that I'm getting like through my headphones? Maybe change it to desktop setting. Would that help?
I think he's listening to the stream. So
Oh yeah, yeah.
Everybody talk. Just say something. I'm see how bad the static is.
At the
Mic
same
check.
time.
Talk, talk, talk.
We are all talking at once, which is bad.
Yep, I'm talking pretty bad.
Yeah,
Free la la.
yeah. It's the static's pretty bad. Like every time someone starts to talk, it pops. It's like pop, 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 pop.
Okay, question. If I change to my computer's speakers, would that be better than my headset speakers? Maybe. Would that
I
fix it?
don't know.
does
I don't
that,
know what's causing the popping.
what's your
Well, maybe.
CPU usage at? Can you hit Task Manager and say what your CPU
I
usage
mean, you
is
should
at?
be able to see it on this OBS.
OBS
Okay.
is 17%.
Okay, that's not bad.
Yeah.
That's at 14.6 FPS.
Yeah, your computer's chugging. If you can't stream just video in 30 FPS. So that's probably the problem. Your computer just can't really handle it. It's too much load for it. We could stop the stream. You could turn the settings down, and it might work. You'd have to stop the stream and then restart it to turn the settings.
Yeah. You don't
Okay.
have to reset anything. You just stop streaming and then restart streaming.
We'll stop it and then change settings and then turn it down. Turn
Right.
like your forgot exactly what the settings are, but
You can change your bit rate, and it'll probably a little bit since we'll have to encode
Okay.
such a high bit rate.
So I guess stop streaming and we'll come back into it.
Yeah, we'll be right back.
Yeah, we'll be right back, y'all. Sorry.
La, 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 la.